Video number 2. So, excuse me, the last 24 hours leading up to the prior video. How do I begin? I woke up in the morning in my house and there was an interesting odor and I wasn't sure what it was. Went out for the day, came back, and it was really bad, and my Airbnb guests showed up and they're like, man, it's a really bad smell. I'm like, I have no idea what that is, and we were all very curious about it. Now I'm on a timeline. I've had a full day. I have to get onto a Skype call. I need to make dinner and eat, and I need to eat slowly and calmly. And everything goes in the opposite direction. So we're trying to figure it out. There's a knock at the door, and it's my neighbor who lives right behind me, and he's like, there is something horrific happening through your house. I don't know what it is. I'm like, yeah, what is that? He's like, I don't know. And he charges off into the yard, and he's like, something's dead back here. And it becomes like this, Ghostbusters kind of show, hand me the shovel. Oh, he's gagging, back away, grab some air. And he goes back in and looks for the squirrel, and I'm like backing up in horror. No, a dead squirrel, and smells horrible. I've got a whole movie going on in my head. And I'm like looking at my Airbnb guests going, welcome to my Airbnb. That's how it starts off. And then the guy finds a dead squirrel, and then everything has to move very quickly. The dead squirrel, something has to happen with it. So he's like, open the garbage pail. And I'm like thinking, I don't want a dead squirrel in my garbage pail. But he's like, open the garbage pail and don't breathe. And I'm like, it's like so much drama over the squirrel. Oh my God. And I kept thinking to myself, what does squirrel represent on the medicine cards? This is the message I'm supposed to be getting here. I don't know why this is happening with a squirrel. And so we're under his command, and finally he throws some dirt on top of the squirrel in the plastic bag in the garbage pail. And now it's going to be harder for me to get the squirrel out because of all the dirt. So anyway, he washes his hands and leaves, and I'm like, oh my God. And my woman Airbnb, her name is Julie, she's like a Mother Earth type, and she's like, what's the plan, Danae? And I've known her for less than, I think 2 hours. And I'm like, I think we put the squirrel in a garbage bag and we clean out the garbage pail and then we have it ready for doing something with it in the morning. And she's like, okay, but do you have a plan? I'm like, that was my plan. She's like, no, the specific angle of the garbage pail and how it gets dumped. I'm like, no, are you a Virgo? Let's go, So we run out to the garbage pail, and we have this whole garbage pail experience where I have the plastic, garbage bag is on the floor, and she's like getting all ready for the angle of the garbage pail, and I'm just like, just dump the frickin' thing, just dump it. She doesn't want the squirrel, rolling down the lawn. She has a point. Oh my God. Got the squirrel landed, got the bag around it, all's well, whatever bag was in the garbage pail went in the bag and, tied it up. You're not going to believe where this story's going. So, we decide it's okay to leave the squirrel in the garbage pail overnight instead of calling animal patrol because it's dead anyway and the bears won't bother it. So, get up the next morning and, my male Airbnb guest from Rome, he said, just last week, this happened to me with a hedgehog. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. You want to help with the squirrel? So we make a date for 7:30 in the morning to bury the squirrel because I found out that wildlife doesn't care if it's dead. It's like, throw it in your garbage. I'm not going to leave a squirrel in my garbage for a full week rotting in a cul-de-sac. That's just not really me. I don't wear that perfume, So we decided to have a burial service, and that was this morning. So we get up, and we're armed with rubber gloves. We're like, okay, when we open the garbage lid, don't breathe. Like, breathe in, hold your breath, and then, we're going to run to the car. So we do that. He's holding the black bag. We both get in the car and his arm is hanging out of the side of the car holding the black bag, and I'm like, okay, we can exhale. We drive off around the cul-de-sac, and we're now walking down the park with a shovel and this hefty black bag, which I hadn't held, so I didn't realize how heavy it was, And we're walking along, and he's like, this is a really big squirrel. I'm like, I didn't actually see it, is it? He's like, I think it is. I'm like, wow, the bag must be heavy. And this older couple walks by with their little white dog, and the bag we're holding is about the size of a little white dead dog. And they're watching us, you know, with the sunrise with a shovel in this black bag. And we're dying. And we're like, you know, I think we better just stop walking and just sit down and hang out like nothing's happening and see if they go away. Because they were staring at us. You know, he's like, is this legal? I'm like, it's totally legal. So we sit down, and the couple eventually goes away. And I'm like, okay, off we go. We go like... We go to one part of the woods, but as he's digging, we're hitting tree roots, and we don't want to hurt the trees, so we're walking through this mosquito-ridden little forest. And we find a spot where the soil's very good, you know, and he's digging away and digging away. We've got the bag, and, you know, after he's dug enough, what the plan is, because you have to have a plan now, we're going to take a deep breath, hold our breath, use our rubber gloves, untie the bag, and let the squirrel slip into the dirt hole. Exhale in the other direction. So that was our plan. So we do that plan, and then some of the plastic bag stuff fell in with the squirrels. So then we had to take another deep breath, turn around, pull the things out that were not supposed to be buried in the earth, and then quickly bury the squirrel. So Operation Squirrel Burial. We got all that done, and then I say prayers and blessings over the spirit of the squirrel. He's standing with me, and we're very solemn, and we like, you know, thank you, squirrel. And we pick up what we think is just the plastic bag, and it's heavy. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And he's like, are there 2 squirrels? I'm like, I didn't see when he dug them out, you know. It's the black garbage from me emptying out my cat litter can into a garbage bag. We were carrying that and the squirrel around, and hanging out the car was cat litter, cat poop, and a squirrel. Like, so now we're walking back from the woods, and the bag's still heavy, and he's carrying it, and I've got the shovel, no one's looking at us, but I say to him, imagine the couple peering out their windows right now, looking at them. She goes, hey, Harv, they came back out of the woods with the shovel, and they still have a bag of something. You know, she's probably peeking out with her morning coffee, like, oh my God, Harv. So, anyway, We've been making up stories and laughing, and he says, this is an Airbnb I will never forget, not in all my days. And he's a cinematographer. He's like, when we're 70 years old, we're going to remember this moment. We'll make a movie. I'm like, okay. So, my guidance keeps telling me to post these videos and maybe start doing Facebook Live, and I'm embarrassed because I live like this all the time, but I'm not often witnessed like this, and I have no idea what you people are going to think of me. But I have to be totally naked and upfront and out loud, and live what I'm living with a crowd who would like to see Singing Children Home actually grow before their very eyes. You know, use crowd momentum. And, well, we could do crowdfunding too, but still a crowd momentum of vision. You know, I'm looking for visionary partners, I'm looking for active participants, and ultimately we're creating the funds to pay everybody. So I'm looking for my production team. And, yeah, even if you don't know what that means, if you get wow, there's a tug, you know, call me, 720-346-2383. I think I'm going to keep posting daily stories. I don't know. I'm really resistant to the idea. It just feels like a lot, but we'll see. So, anyway, there may be another video tonight, maybe not. Thanks for watching. I mean, a lot of funny stuff has happened. It's a matter of whether I'm choosing to tell you or not. Okay, bye.